Welcome to Straight Line MTB, and today is new bike reveal, and we're going to show you if it's a trail bike, enduro bike, or children's bike. Boom! The 2021 Commencal Meta AM 29, and this is the team edition. So you may be asking yourself, what is this guy doing with another bike? He already has a new Proof Mega 290 Carbon. Well, unfortunately, Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. That bike broke and we sent it back and got a refund. So now we had a void in our stable and we needed a big bike that can hit North Star Bike Park as well as our local trails. If you're following Commencal, you see that this bike sold out in 2 days and is out of stock until November or December. But again, we are very blessed and lucky that this is the third bike in a row during these times we were able to get that was in stock. And now we're going to bring a review to you so you can get all the ins and outs. So as you can see here, this bike comes with all the 2021 bits, which is pretty awesome. It has the new code RSC brakes on it. They come with nice little rainbow titanium bolts on them, which is really nice. Also, it has the new 2021 SRAM GX Eagle group set. So the shifter has been unchanged for this year, but for 2021, the cranks are now polished. They look really nice. They're the lunar gray color. The big change for SRAM was the 10 to 52 tooth rear cassette. So now that cassette is real huge and ridiculously large. So it's going to be able to help you get up the climbs. The GX derailleur was also tweaked a little bit for 2021. The cage has been lengthened a little bit to get onto that 52 tooth cog, as well as the clutch I think is tweaked a little bit. I noticed we have the same GX derailleur on our Ibis that we swapped out for the 2021, and the clutch seems a little bit stronger than the previous GX. It comes with the Lev Integra from KS for the dropper post. This is a 175 millimeter drop. It also has the Southpaw lever, which is matchmaker, which that's pretty interesting. I haven't seen the KS Lev Southpaw dropper remote with the matchmaker, so it keeps the cockpit real nice and tidy. And the highlight, I think, of this build is the new RockShox Zeb Ultimate fork on this bike. This is the new 38 millimeter stanchion fork from RockShox to compete with the Fox 38, and I'm interested to see how it's going to perform compared to the Manitou Mezzer that we have. Another new product from Schwalbe, not new but updated, is the Magic Mary. It's the new casing. It's the Super Trail casing in the Attic soft compound, so that's new for 2021. The rims and wheels on this is the DT Swiss 350 hubs, and it comes with the EX 511 rims. For the rear tire, it's the new Schwalbe has brought back the Big Betty. This is also in the Super Trail casing, and it is in the Attic soft compound. Both of these tires look really nice and burly. The rear hub is the DT Swiss 350, and it also has the EX 511 hoop. And the rear hub also comes with the 36 2-star ratchet in the rear, so you get a little bit of a bump in points of engagement. For the saddle, it comes with a Fabrique scoop. I've never ridden this saddle. I'm probably going to pull it off and run my WTB Coda, which is one of my favorites. The handlebar, stem, and grips is all Commencal branded components. So for $4,500, this bike looks really clean and is well spec'd, and as if you haven't noticed, it's wearing its tuxedo, so it's ready for the formal edition of the evenings. It is a big bike. It comes in at 36.4 pounds out of the box. Once I got the tubeless set up, I got my insert and put pedals on, we are at 37.33 pounds. So this is a very hefty bike. The Ibis Ripmo that we are currently riding right now in the NX build kit came in at 36 pounds ready to ride. So not too far off. This is a big rowdy bike ready to hit some big lines. So being a direct to consumer bike brand, I think it's appropriate to compare it to the other direct to consumer bike brands that I've purchased from, such as YT and Canyon. So opening the box, I felt like Commencal is more of a just kind of cut and dry. You get a bike, you open it up, and then you go. Whereas Canyon and YT give you more of a feel-good customer experience where they give you a box of goodies such as a shock pump and all the other good fun things that you would get. Common while I think has done better, is not quite up to those standards as YT and Canyon. They have stepped it up where you get a box with Common name on it, and you get tubeless valves, some tools, and some other items. But I think that's one area where Common can kind of step it up a little bit and give you that customer experience where you feel like, oh, I just spent $5,000 on a bike and they love me. Another thing that was a little bit of a letdown for me is that this bike didn't come with a bash guard. I feel like for such a big, huge bike, it should have a bash guard because this bike is intended to go fast, go over rocks, and get nasty. So I'm going to put one of those on, which is going to add a few grams of weight. I had thought about changing the tires for something a little bit quicker rolling, but I'm going to run the Magic Mary and Big Betty since they are new. I want to see what they're all about and try them out. Hopefully give you some more feedback to that. And then, of course, we got to put Laminex on this bike because we're going to sell it really soon and we want it to be nice and crispy when we do. So if you guys are interested in getting some awesome frame protection for your bike, go to the link down below where you can get 20% off Laminex film that you can also protect your bike and keep its value up high and keep it nice and minty fresh. All right, so I'm excited to get this bike out on the trail. We're going to go for a quick ride, so stay tuned and watch that. Also, follow us on Instagram at straightline_MTB and all the other social media platforms. Also, check us out on straightlinemtb.com. So far, it's just a really long bike and slacked out. And the climbs, it's like I can't get over the front enough. Or maybe it's because that wheel's so far out. It just feels like I'm still too far behind the front wheel climbing. Doesn't seem like there's hardly any pedal bob in the open position. And it seems like its ability and efficiency's pretty good for how big a bike it is. It's just, 37 and a half pounder. Feeling like this bike is a little heavier and it feels efficient, but it's definitely feel like the heft on the climbs. I managed to actually beat my fastest time to this spot. So instantly again, I just feel the length of this bike. It is long. It's like I need to lean it in more. Oh, let's get used to it. I'm not talking a lot because I'm trying to focus here. So don't die. Definitely, oh shit, not as poppy as the Ritmo. It's just a long limousine of a bike. Oh, oh. Here we go to drop number 2. Nice. You definitely have to react quicker than you would because that long wheelbase feels like it makes the steering a bit laggy. And I don't know if it's the tires or what, but I washed the front twice. Going slower than I normally do. Yeah. Feels composed over the rocky stuff, and then the steeps, long wheelbase. Here's some chunky fast. Woo. Holy cow. This thing is just moving. It wants to go fast. Woo. So yeah, so far, that long front end, you gotta get that. Looks like I gotta get more weight over the front. I'm washing out. Could be the front tire. Or it's not used to that long front end. Boom! Rock monster. It's so quiet. It's ridiculous how quiet this bike is. It's just all you hear is the tires. This is pretty awesome. Yikes. Focus, focus. Hocus pocus, gotta have some focus. Ooh, ooh. All right, so as you guys get to enjoy my pain as I'm climbing out of this steep, horrible road climb, just a wrap up of my first ride impression. So this is a long bike, so on the climbs, I did feel the length in the front end and the slack head tube angle. I didn't feel much rising when I was pedaling up, so that was good, but it being 37 pounds, I did feel it. Maybe that was in my head, maybe it was the tires, I'm not sure yet, but it was noticeable. I did get, as I showed, I did get to the top and kind of record-breaking time for that spot for me, so that was very surprising. On the downhills, I had a little bit of struggle with the front tire washing out. It could just be me not being used to the long front end or the long wheelbase. So I'm probably going to swap out the front tire to like an Assegai. Long wheelbase on the straight, chunky stuff felt really, really good. I never felt like the bike was sketchy. Very confidence inspiring. I did briefly noticed that the chainstay lengths was shorter than like our Nuke Proof. Our Nuke Proof was 450 millimeter chainstays, and this was 433. So on a few of the chunky turns, I felt the rear end moving around a little bit. Nothing that would throw me off my line, but just something I noticed. And just the big takeaway is just how amazingly quiet this bike is. It is quiet. Comments, I don't know what they did. I think on the ports they have where they clamp down so they're not rattling inside. This thing is super quiet. The drivetrain was quiet. You might not be able to pick that up because my wrist brace does clank a little bit. So I want to thank you for watching this. Subscribe to our channel. That way you don't miss our long-term review, which we'll be doing here pretty soon. Give us a like and then check us out on Instagram at straightline_MTB and straightlinemtb.com and all the other social media platforms. If you guys have any questions, comments, let us know below. That way I can answer them in the comments below or in our long-term review. So thanks again, guys. See you on the next ride.